Okay, so I'm going to get to introduce this next panel, and we have Theron Francis with us and Donald Mace Williams. I'm Rob King. I'm with the Southwest Collection, the Special Collections Library. I work in the cataloging and metadata. So to introduce Theron Francis here, he received his PhD in American Literature from Purdue University with a dissertation on Thoreau in 2007. And now he teaches at Sowell State University. He attributes some of his students' success to the formative experiences they've had presenting and meeting others here at the Sowell Conference. He is currently planning a study abroad trip with his Sowell students to Volterra, Italy, while teaching a wide variety and array of classes, organizing the Student Research Symposium, helping the Sierra Club, and trying to get students to vote. Donald Mace Williams received a PhD in English from the University of Texas, writing his dissertation on the line structure of Beowulf. He has been both a writer and editor for newspapers and a university professor. He began writing poetry and fiction in earnest upon his retirement. He currently lives in Canyon, Texas.
In Werner Herzog's film Fitzcarraldo, Klaus Kinski asks a priest at a missionary outpost on the Pachatea River in Peru if textbooks can convert the Indians and make them patriots. The young are easily converted, he is told, but not so easily the older Indians. They are convinced that our everyday life is only an illusion, behind which lies the reality of dreams. Fitzcarraldo admits that he too is very interested in these ideas. He likes opera. The notebooks from which I will read follow the same premise. They are composed by someone who might call himself a dream ornithologist. As the university's library at Sowell is digitized, the archives have deaccessioned, rarely used, and apparently meaningless volumes. During the downsizing of the archives, the notebooks of the unknown dream ornithologist were at first offered to the psychology department because their subject was dreams. As there was no pathology, the notebooks were released from psychology and found their way to literature, which makes sense because it's entirely imaginary. I would like to read just a few excerpts from the notebooks of the dream ornithologist. Let's see if I can you guys hear me? The dream oriole. We cannot know whether the dream bird or the yellow body and the black head is an oriole or any variety of oriole, or any bird known to us in the waking world. The dream bird itself may be internally or externally different from ordinary birds. It may be very much the same, but its name entirely different. The green-crowned dream bird. I saw a bird with a distinct green crown. The crown is the glory of this dream bird because it serves as a nest for its chicks. The green crown of the green-crowned dream bird can only be seen and the bird identified when the sun is at a particular angle and the dream world's dawn or dusk. The dream bird must also ruffle its feathers while bathing in a woodland pool. Otherwise, its green crown remains hidden in its plain brown plumage, which merges with the shadows of the dream forest. For an instant then, as the dream bird bathes in the forest pond, you might also see its chicks, green like the green of its crown. Audubon's Birds of America. In a bookstore of my dreams, I discovered what appeared to be the first edition of Audubon's Birds of America, and yet it seemed odd that I should find the original elephant folio in a mouse-sized box. The price was way too high, and the book didn't follow the rules of proportion. The book dealer assured me that nothing could be more genuine. When I opened the box, there was no book at all, just game boards, tokens, and counters to show the game's progress and who was winning and losing. I was disappointed and smirked at the bookmonger. Lies, liars, illusions. But in another phase of the dream, we played the game together, me and the peddler. Although we did not see the birds painted by Audubon when we first played the game, we followed the same rules that Audubon once followed. We saw bird flight, bird plumage, and bird song. The game progressed like a fairy tale, consoling and very, very real. I was not displeased then at the book dealer's price. I wish I had bought it, whatever the price. If one is poor in life, one might be poor in one's dreams. In any case, I long to hear the book dealer name his price again. Among the dream birds are red birds that fly in small flocks. They are accompanied by gray birds that fly in flocks of just the same size. The gray birds may live symbiotically alongside the red birds, one species a help to another, or they may be a competing species of a nearly opposite genus, the same only in mimicry, their lack of color alone differentiating them. The one species matches the other, adaptation for adaptation in the dream world. The gray species may also be the female sex of the same red bird, or the opposite, or they may simply be shadows, which are more difficult to discern in one's dreams. Hawk flight. I saw a bird of prey swooping down past the mesquite and orange trees in my dream backyard, then suddenly lift up and out of view. The speed of his dive made the bird impossible to identify. He seemed to be transparent, or little more than a curve. Blending in to the background, he became undetectable to the dream birds he preyed upon. We assume that living things are bodies with extension, and their songs and movements are secondary traits. However, it might very well be that motion, flight pattern, dance, flock contours, and their fluid murmurations come first, and their bodies are mere traits of their essential form, which is movement through space. In the waking world, the bird of prey's physical body conforms to its need for swift motion and not the other way around. It might be proposed that dream birds have no need for bodily character, and therefore they may appear as no more than an abstract curve. Without equivocation, I reject this. In dreams, the separate traits of a thing become more salient and clear to the observer. All traits of a thing, be it a thing, are physical. A curve swiftly moving through a dreamscape has as much thingness as anything else. Even dream birds need to eat. Although I did not see the prey flee, not Incan, ground, or white-tipped dove, I know he hunted them. Quicker than the swooping hawk appeared, all the doves disappeared, into his talons or out into the brushlands. Then they became no more than an idea, the hawk's idea or ours. The phainopepla. A friend of mine, in the spirit of speculative philosophy, proposed that all birds were dream birds, even those in the waking world. What? Are you a butterfly who dreams he is a man? Was my acerbic response. On that day, I had no tolerance for his abstractions. There is no difference between dreams and reality, there is a difference between dreams and reality, and apparently there is a difference between you and me. You are not a scientist, I said. He made no effort to defend himself. He turned and walked away. I had lost a friend. It was until I encountered the black phainopepla, a bird that always appears to people as an omen and guards the mistletoe as fiercely as winged serpents guard the frankincense tree in Arabia Felix, that I realized he might be right. Omens are the signs of dreams which we see in waking life. All birds are omens. The phainopepla lives in the desolate Indian lands of the American Southwest. It is rarely seen by white men, and those who have seen it are mocked for trafficking in Indian fables. Although the phainopepla is included in most bird guides, identifying the bird is not easy. It would fit better into a thesaurus as an antonym of the cardinal. The cardinal has black eyes and red plumage. The phainopepla, red eyes and black plumage. Most birds are ordinarily indexed according to their general class, waterfowl, raptor, flycatchers, etc. The phainopepla fits none of these categories, however, and is classified between bulbuls and silky flycatchers. Who knows, all birds might resist classification and exist in the in-between spaces of our lexicon. The phainopepla shows that dreams and illusions intervene in the waking world, and we are blessed with unreal